Hey, everybody. Belief is a very powerful thing. Belief can cause people to do some amazing things and some crazy things too. Now, I have belief. I have belief in myself and my capabilities, but I don't believe in things that are unproven or are not factual. And I certainly don't believe in something, a story, just because lots of people believe in that. Now, for most people, that's proof enough to them, and I say proof, that's proof enough to them that something is true, just the fact that many people believe it. And I always look at that, that position as being completely insane and irrational. I mean, if that were the case, if it were simply a matter of lots of people believing something and that makes it true, then humankind, human beings would never have advanced to the point that we are right now. I mean, you'd never have innovation, you'd never have invention, you'd never have the exploration of new areas of the earth or space or anything. I mean, you wouldn't even have science if that were the case. So I always laugh. People say, "Well, if you're so smart and if you know everything, then how come everybody else is saying the opposite thing?" I mean, when people say that, I just laugh at that because that is the most idiotic, stupid, uninformed, ignorant comment that you could possibly have. And if that's your criticism, if that's your takedown, then that is the lamest thing in the world, and you are lame. All right. Now, I've tried to explain this in many different realms, in many different areas. MMT challenges beliefs with facts, with realities. A lot of people ask me, like, what if, Mike, once they get it and they start to understand it and it becomes so clear and logical to them, then they really are sort of taken aback by how so many people can believe in things that are so untrue. Even when the empirical evidence flies in the face of those beliefs, that they'll just hang on to them and ignore the realities of what is going on, because the fear of letting go of that belief, of admitting that you were following something that was wrong, inaccurate, misinformed, that fear, not being attached to something, maybe not being attached to a group, a large number of people who believe the same thing, that is an overwhelming fear for a lot of people, and it's paralyzing. Yeah, I've used the example in the past of abusive relationships. So we see this in abusive relationships where one person in that relationship, the one being abused, will remain in it because the fear of leaving it, the fear of not being in a relationship, is overpowering. It's even more frightening to them than being abused. I mean, we see people still following Peter Schiff and people like that who have basically been abused and they've been ripped off, but they remain in there. Some people have broken away. I have subscribers and I have people who bought my courses who told me that, they were at one time in the past a follower of guys like Schiff, and they cost them lots and lots of money, and they broke themselves away. And now they're happy. I mean, they're free. They're liberated. They're free thinkers. They've learned things. They've learned real things that are applicable and can help them, make money in the markets, or beyond that, just improve their lives. So one of these beliefs is a belief that I've been speaking about rates and the dollar. And, I've proven it wrong, or I've tried to show how it is wrong. And my account, is proof of the fact that it's wrong. And I'll go on to say these sorts of things, and they're not popular, but look, I'm not looking for a popularity contest. That's another thing. Somebody said, your channel only has 2,000 or whatever, 1,800 subscribers. The other guys have 20,000, 50,000, 100. I don't care, man. I'm still a trader. I mean, that's what I do. I'm a trader, all right? I quit Fox News. I was on Fox News. Everybody liked me there. I had a great relationship with the bosses. I quit People say, how could you quit? You had a job on a major TV network. Like, people die for stuff like that. I quit because I got tired of being on panels and arguing with fools and idiots. I mean, we had people Fox used to bring in, and believe me, they're all bad. They're worse. They're worse than Fox. The NBCs, the MSNBCs, the CNNs. Forget about it. The CNBCs. That's the all-time worst of all. I've had I remember situations where we would do, I was a business contributor, so we'd do like an economic story. The producers would send me the sort of the bullet points of the topics we were going to be discussing. Maybe sometimes it would include a little facts, at least what they thought were facts, to use as talking points. And I would say to them, hey, you got your facts wrong. If you want to see the real facts, the data, the numbers, whatever, because this is what I do. I'd send them, here's the link to the Treasury, or here's the link to the Fed, or here's this link where you can get the actual data. And they would say, no, that's okay. We want to say it the way we want to say it. So, I mean, there you go. I mean, that's a behind the scenes look of what happened. So people watch, they think they're getting informed, but really it's a story that has been crafted. It's a story that has been put together not to inform you, but to spew out an editorial point of view that is aligned with that station or the network and how the higher ups feel they want to present it. And also it's a story that is crafted in a way to speak to the viewership. And that's the way they build these networks and create loyal viewership, is to keep an editorial position. And if something is against the way they want to say it, they will craft it in such a way as to make it fit with their editorial line. So don't think when you're watching these things, CNBC or Fox or MSNBC or NBC or any of them, that you're getting informed. You're not getting informed. And to be informed, it takes, first of all, it takes work. You got to be able to go out there and dig and look for what's right, and to question, to constantly question, and to cross-reference. And then also, you got to have an open mind. You got to be willing to think, or at least consider other viewpoints. And I see it here with the people who come on this channel, or the people who I've gotten to know through the subscriptions or through my courses. It's a certain kind of person. And I've said it before, it's a person with a good amount of self-esteem, who values themselves, who are not threatened by new information, because they're not being, let's say, taken away from some belief system that defines them. Okay, some people could be in a bad belief system, but they're still curious. And when something else comes along, like people who have given up on the shifts of the world and come over to me and what I talk about in MMT, they're always curious, and they're always are rational in the sense that they know, after a while, they know they're being hurt, they're being abused, and they say, I'm not taking it anymore. I don't deserve this. I am a worthy person. And so they break away. But there are many, many others, and it is the vast majority, I hate to tell you, because the people who do that, who break away, who have the open mind, who have the guts, who have the courage, who have the self-worth to say, hey, I'm not going to be abused anymore. I'm getting out of this relationship. Those are rare people, man. Most people will stay in the belief system. They'll continue to have that abuse heaped upon them. And they'll take it. And then they'll rationalize it in some way and say, this is good for me. I deserve this. Because the only way that somebody could constantly and continually handle that kind of abuse being heaped on them is that deep down inside, they feel unworthy. They feel like they need to be punished. For some reason, good things shouldn't come to them. That's why, I've spoken in the past about the nibblers, the people who sign up for my MMT Trader subscription and they cancel the exact second that they sign up. I don't even allow them to have it. I say it's a 30-day free trial to everyone, and I mean that. But when you sign up and you cancel at the same exact second, you're basically saying, I'm not worthy to have this. There's nothing I can do in this entire universe to help you if you're a person like that. If you already deem yourself not worthy, all right, then nobody's going to be able to help you because you're going to block, you're going to shut out, you're going to shut down anything that might be able to improve your situation. You're not going to want it. We all get what we want in our lives, whether or not we realize that or not. We all get what we want. It took me a long time to understand that. I was screwing myself up so bad until I realized, wait a minute, why am I doing this? I am worthy. As soon as I realize that, and not just realize that, because it's one thing to be aware. I've said this in the past. You might have bad habits and you might be aware of them, but that doesn't change the behavior. But first you got to be aware, and then you got to work on changing the behavior, which is what I did. And it changed everything. Everything. So I see that happening with many of you, but there's still a lot of you. And if you come to me and you say, hey, nobody else thinks that, I just laugh when you say stuff like that, man. Well, everybody thinks this thing. That means your thing is not true. No, it doesn't, man. No, it doesn't. Anyway, just had to say that. See you later. Bye-bye.